Everyone knows that feeling, wanting to experience more stories, but struggling to find the time. That's where Audible changes everything. With over 1 million audiobooks and Audible originals, there's a story waiting to spark anyone's imagination. Take The Paris Apartment by Lucy Foley, the gripping psychological thriller that's keeping listeners on the edge of their seats. Imagine unraveling its mysteries during your morning commute, or losing yourself in its twists and turns while doing household chores. That's the magic of Audible. It transforms daily routines into opportunities for thrilling discoveries. The best part? Members get access to thousands of included titles, with new content added regularly. From bestsellers to hidden gems, every genre imaginable is at their fingertips. And with one easy-to-use app, switching between favorites or discovering new passions has never been simpler. There's more to imagine when you listen. Start a free 30-day Audible trial and get your first audiobook free at audible.com/Wondery. That's audible.com/Wondery.
Don't ask me to talk.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Don't Ask Me to Talk. Happy 4th of July. I am one of your hosts, Stacey Heller, and I'm of course joined by my other host.
In honor of Independence Day, I'm going to make you do the show by yourself today, just to show
Don't
how
ask me to
independent you are. No, I'm just kidding, of course. This is like the 50 states. We're better together, right?
Exactly. Thanks, Uncle Sam.
And I'm Eric Ryder, of course, the co-host here for Don't Ask Me to Talk. And this is going to be an interesting episode since both myself and you, Stacey, are sick today. I've had a cold for 2 weeks straight, and it's been giving me brain fog and congestion and sinus pain. And I haven't had a cold since pre-pandemic, and I can't even remember when the last one was. But this thing has just kicked my butt straight. I had to take an actual sick day off from work, which I have not done in 24 years of working at the same job. So
wow.
that's how you know that it was severe. So
yeah. Meanwhile, I am bringing COVID back. Yep.
Yeah. Speaking of the pandemic.
Yeah. So that came out of nowhere, but didn't, because here's an interesting thing. I had no idea. My energy was fine. I infected a whole bunch of people, probably at a luncheon that I went to, a charity luncheon.
Or they infected you.
Well, or they infected me, except that I don't think that the incubation period is 6 hours, because later that night is when I got a sore throat. And then I was like, that's crazy. And went to bed, woke up in the middle of the night, but that's no surprise. I'm a 54-year-old woman. We're always up in the middle of the night. So, but I was like, sore throat. Woke up in the morning at 6 because the cat did the tap, tap, tap on my face. And I was like, sore throat. Gosh, I haven't had a sore throat like this since dun, dun, dun.
COVID.
And yep, found a COVID test, and it showed positive faster than any pregnancy test I ever took.
15 minutes, I would hope, because they say.
It was not even 15 seconds. It was
wow.
Oh yeah. It was we are positive that you are positive.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And I took a lot of pregnancy tests. I mean, I had 4 kids, for God's sakes.
Well, I just took a COVID test again for the first time since the pandemic because of this gnarly cold that I've been dealing with for 2 weeks, and negative in my case. But what I found out was that the tests that I had laying around were no longer working. One of them worked, thankfully, so I was able to know no COVID. But I had 3 others that failed. And I found a couple tests that I had on hand that were so old, you had to send it to a laboratory to get results. So not that instantaneous thing that you got.
By Pony Express.
Right. They telegraph the results to us. But thankfully no COVID in my case, but still, I got to say with the cold, the symptoms have been just as bad as from what I hear COVID is. So
it's weird.
not fun.
And people don't it's almost like people don't know what to do about it, because I, of course, then let anybody that I had been in contact with over a period of a few days know, like,
Right.
hey, just so you know, I tested positive for COVID. And one of my friends was like, oh, yeah, by the way, like, I have it. And so does my husband and my daughter. And I was like, thanks for telling me. And I had another friend say, like, I'm not feeling great, but I'm afraid to test. I'm like, test. Because here's the thing, whatever your beliefs are about COVID, you're sick. You're
Right.
contagious, just like any other illness.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, the fact that you can get confirmation that, like, yep, it's not just another spring cold, and then you can, like, let people know, and then people actually want to stay away from you. So, like, who doesn't want that? If it's a
Win-win,
cold,
right?
right, then people are like, you'll suffer through. But if it's COVID, people are like, stay home, it's fine.
But the show must go on, of course. So,
I mean, the
despite
show must
us
go on.
feeling poorly, we're still have a great show ahead for folks, and I am thankfully on the very cusp of health. So not contagious to my coworkers, thankfully. But man alive, just if you
Yeah.
can avoid this cold or the COVID, please do yourself a favor and avoid it, because it is no fun.
Oh yeah, totally. Which, hey, by the way, if you are celebrating 4th of July, happy 4th of July.
Yeah.
And this year is a little weird because the Nathan's Hot Dog Contest, I think we talked about this, there's not going to be Joey Chestnut because he took some sponsorship with, like, a vegan hot dog company.
Impossible Foods, yep.
Yep. And then Kobayashi retired. So I'm like,
Right. But did he? Because they apparently are teaming up for a rematch that's going to be shown on Netflix in September. So,
right. Which
right.
is weird because, like, does that mean that the contract is over with Impossible? Like, what the heck?
No,
Anyway.
because it's not sponsored by a hot dog company in this case.
Right.
So, they can do whatever they want. And he can endorse whatever he wants.
I guess Joey Chestnut shows that anything is possible. See what I did there? Anyway, if I'm going to promote anything, I should probably promote our show, which, hey, if you haven't figured it out already, this show is about ridiculousness and, like, holidays and random tangents. You can find past episodes wherever you listen to podcasts. You can follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Don't Ask Me to Talk. And guess what? That's right. We have an email address now.
Woo-hoo!
Yeah, you can email us at asking@don'taskmetotalk.com.
Beautiful. That's so easy. Asking@don'taskmetotalk.com.
Right? And then, by the way, you can also text or call us at 475-999-2726. I did get a call the other day and I was like, this is it. This is my big moment. I need, like, a second phone to record this. It was totally a spam call.
Of course. That's funny because I recently had and we'll get back to hot dogs in a second. Don't worry. But
You're not, people.
But I just had an appointment with a well-known window company because I'm looking at replacing some windows in the house. And when I got the call for the appointment reminder, the phone said scam likely. So and so of course I didn't answer it. As we all know, I don't answer the phone unless someone leaves a message. But when I get the scam likely, I'm like, oh, I'm really not answering this. But then I got the voicemail and it said, hey, just a reminder of your appointment. But that did not make me feel terribly confident in this company.
Right.
And then they came and gave me the hard sell for 90 minutes. And so I thought, yeah, I don't think I want to go with a company that needs to, hard sell me for 90 minutes instead of just getting the estimate to me like I asked for. So,
well, and did you say to them, like, a little birdie told me that this is a scam likely.
I didn't, but when anybody comes to the house, Gertie, my dog, starts barking, and I could have swore that she said, "Scam likely, scam likely."
Well, there you go. Gertie is like the barometer.
That's right. She's protecting the house and me. So,
Aw, what a good dog.
that's right.
Such a good dog.
Speaking of good dogs, hot dogs. You mentioned hot dogs, and I got to know what you like on a hot dog.
Well, I am lame, as we have discovered in our ongoing conversations about food. So I like a hot dog that has ketchup. No, I don't like mustard. I haven't evolved into that thing that people talk about, how like when you're a kid, you don't really like mustard, but then you grow up and you learn to like it. Nope, haven't done it. And so, or I like a plain hot dog that is grilled, almost burned.
Wow.
What about you?
Yeah, you know what? I love the classic trio myself. The ketchup, mustard, relish. I just think that's hard to beat. A little bit of sauerkraut in there if you can. So good. And I know that there's people that will judge if they're from Chicago, you'll be run out of town if you put ketchup on your hot dog. I don't care.
I don't either. You know
I
what?
think it's great.
It's too windy there.
Yes. And I like them grilled. I like them boiled. I like them heated up in a dirty microwave. I don't care.
Wait, don't they explode in a microwave though?
Not if you cook it for like 60 seconds. If you cook it for 2 minutes, it's a dirty microwave going forward. If it didn't start that way, it definitely is. So
a dirty dog.
Yeah, and any talk of hot dogs makes me think, man, I could go for a hot dog right now.
I love hot dogs. In fact, I have a good friend of mine that I've known for years. Her husband, he was on the fence about whether or not he liked me. And like, that's fair. I have that effect on people. And he decided that I was good people when we were going to be going out for like a double date, because she and I used to hang out, but the husbands hadn't. And it was like, where should we go? And I was like, oh, let's just go to this Rowley's, like a local hot dog place. And he was like, okay, she's good people. Like, I didn't want to go to the fancy restaurant. I didn't want to do anything. It was like a Friday night, like with kids, whatever. And I'm like, let's just go get hot dogs. Like, it says something about the content of your character.
You're not too good for hot dogs, then you're all right.
Exactly. You're a good dog. Such a good dog.
That's right. And this all, you may think this came out of nowhere, of course, listeners, as most of our conversations do. But July is actually National Hot Dog Month. So it ties into our month-long July observations of the ridiculous high holidays that the marketing companies of the world have put together for us to celebrate.
And you know what's interesting? It's also unlucky month for weddings, which is sort of weird. Like, you weren't lucky enough to get their June wedding that you always wanted.
What?
But like, can you imagine like a wedding in July with hot dogs? Like, how lucky is that? You're a lucky dog.
There you go. Yeah, people they don't need any more like stressors or worrying or superstitions around their weddings. It's already like the most insane day that probably anybody will have. So yeah, to think of one of the prime months for doing an outdoor wedding, I would assume July being warmer and drier usually than say April,
right.
to call that unlucky just seems insane.
Ridiculous. Well, I also want to point out that if you want to keep it simple, I think it's worth noting that the second week in July kicks off Nude Recreation Week. So if you really want to keep it simple, you don't want to have to worry about what to wear.
Yeah, I'm not risking that during National Hot Dog Month.
Have you ever been skinny dipping?
No.
Yeah, me neither, because that sounds hideous.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, whatever, you just run really quick and you get in the water. I'm like, have you seen me run? And no, like, that's just horrible. Yeah.
I just think of the Seinfeld episode on shrinkage and think, yeah, no, I don't think I want to do any cold bodies of water while I'm naked,
Well, 'cause,
especially not during National Hot Dog Month.
your foot long goes to like a bun size.
There
and
you
it's
go.
just
Allegedly.
upset. Anyway.
See, now when you tied in the hot dogs to the unlucky month for weddings, I was surprised that you didn't mention that it's National Grilling Month. See, that to me, that seems like a natural relationship more than the unlucky month for weddings. But again, I'm not married, so.
I think it's because like that's just to be expected. I like to be unexpected.
Fair enough.
Also, I might maybe have COVID brain.
I get it. Believe me, I get it. I've got cold
So,
brain. It's no
yeah.
fun. But
It's totally no fun.
I swear there, like with most of these month-long celebrations, it could really all tie together because it's ice cream month, you got park and recreation month, and picnic month, and watermelon month. So somebody actually thought this through, it seems like. Most of the time, it's super random, the stuff that are month-long observations. But in July, it really seems to come together, except for
It does.
let's make weirdos stressed out about their July wedding thing.
Well, and that's why I brought it up, because I just want to assure you that nothing will make you feel good about your wedding day, because there's a difference between the wedding and the marriage, people.
Of course.
Oh, gosh. Do I have to lecture everybody about this?
No, we should probably move on.
All right, great. Perfect. Let's do it. Do you want to take a break here and then we can talk about a couple of other holidays and birthdays that are happening before we get into our topic for today?
Absolutely. Which, by the way, ties right in because it's what to bring to a picnic, and it's National Picnic Month, as we've established. So
exactly. All right, Yogi Bear. Let's take a break, and when we come back, exactly, we'll talk about some more holidays and a picnic basket.
Stay tuned.
I'm not famous or connected or an influencer. I'm Stacey Heller of Stacey Connects, and I love to talk with strangers, friends, and family. So I started a podcast about making connections through conversation, asking questions instead of making assumptions, and addressing the elephant in any room. I also often go on tangents that beg the question, where is she going with this? Stacey Connects is meant to be enlightening and entertaining, or as I like to call it, edutainment. Listen, enjoy, and subscribe to Stacey Connects wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts.
And we're back on a 4th of July edition of Don't Ask Me to Talk. And, you could be listening to this any day after 4th of July, but just keep in mind that the spirit of this is the day that the episode drops, which is the 4th of July.
Exactly. And who doesn't want to celebrate independence, right?
Sure.
I mean, that is what we're celebrating, right?
Right.
It's our nation's birthday.
That's right.
So that's a big thing. And, 4th of July really, at least in the Pacific Northwest, feels like the kickoff of summer. On the East Coast, it was really Memorial Day.
Mm-hmm.
Like we actually had on the East Coast, like 4 kind of full months of summer. In the Pacific Northwest, you basically have like January, then you have 4th of July, and it's nice until the first rainy weekend in October, and then that's it, it's over.
Right.
So 4th of July is less about our nation's birthday and Independence Day and more about it's summer.
But it's hard to agree to that now because we've had I'd say at least a solid month's worth of summer weather. It just has been spread out over the last 3 months.
Right.
So
right.
And we've had some of the cloudiness and the raininess and stuff, but we've also had, heat waves and sunshine and and it'll be for a week and then back to the other stuff. So, who knows? I think we get the same amount, but It's
Yeah.
it's just
The heat
spread
waves
out.
just feel like global warming, but this isn't that kind of show. We're not going to talk about that. Instead, we're going to talk about important things like how the 5th of July is International Bikini Day.
Perfect
Now,
for a heat wave.
Exactly. Now, I bring this up not because I wear a bikini, not because
Me
I've
neither.
ever worn a bikini.
Same.
I bring it up because of the fact that I've never worn a bikini. I keep telling my kids that when I die and I'm cremated, I want them to put me in a bikini because I will finally
Just the
hot.
ashes.
No, like, first of all, why ruin an outfit? Like, a friend of mine, her mother sadly recently died, and the funeral home was like, "Do you want to dress her in anything special?" And it was like, no, like, literally the clothes are going to go up in flames. And so it's less clothes, and I'll finally look hot.
There you go.
So there you
hopefully it'll happen in July, and it'll be part of National Grilling Month.
And I won't, and I'll look a little ashy, but that's fine.
Right, right.
Now the 8th is National Freezer Pop Day. Now, do you think by freezer pop they mean those like the Otter Pops?
Yeah, I guess so. That makes
like
sense.
Versus the popsicle, right?
Right.
Yeah. So for those of you that don't have any idea what I'm talking about those strips of liquid that you can buy, like a brick box filled of, not really brick, but it's like a giant box of these things. And then you put them in your freezer, and they're in unnatural colors. And then you rip off the top, and then you eat it, and you cut the side of your mouth so that you end up looking like the Joker.
Why so serious?
Exactly. Exactly. It's an iconic experience, really, for summertime.
Agreed. When you're a child, if you're having those over the age of, say, 13, you might want to evolve to maybe the fudgesicle or something.
Oh, fudgesicles are good. All right, the last holiday I want to bring up is on the 10th. It is Teddy Bear Picnic Day. Coincidence? I think not. Because it's picnic month, you see.
Right.
Right.
Now, is this because of that song? Isn't there a song about the teddy bears have their picnic?
Something like that. And there's a book too. And honestly, I always thought it was a little creepy.
How so?
It's like, I don't know, this idea that, like, maybe it's the book version that I like had for the kids. I had never really heard of it before my own kids were young. And then somebody gave them a copy, and I was like, this is weird. Like, all these bears are like hanging out in the woods having a picnic, and they all just seemed creepy.
Yeah, as I look up the lyrics, mind you, to Teddy Bear Picnic, if you just read these rather than listening to the song, this is like the setting for a horror movie.
Thank you.
If you go down in the woods today, you're sure of a big surprise. If you go down in the woods today, you better go in disguise. For every bear that ever there was will gather there for certain, because today's the day that teddy bears have their picnic.
Right? You see what I'm saying?
Every teddy bear who's been good is sure of a treat today. Wow. Yeah.
Right. It's a little creepy. So I'm just saying, and the thing is, if you're somebody like you are, that when you read a story, you're going to do like the voices and stuff. And I always used to do the voices, and it really seemed like the thing of like a kiddie nightmare movie. Anybody that you want to wish a happy birthday to?
Well, I was going to wish the guy that invented Coca-Cola, John Pemberton, a happy birthday. Because
shout out, John.
Even though I don't particularly like Coca-Cola, I'm more of a Pepsi or RC or Dr. Pepper guy. It could be argued that many of those beverages wouldn't exist if not for John Pemberton and Coca-Cola, or so I thought. But
What?
then I did a little research and found out that Dr. Pepper was invented before Coca-Cola. Right?
I'm shocked. I'm
So-
shook it.
So, yeah, I got to give kudos to the guy that invented Dr. Pepper more than John Pemberton. But nevertheless, a happy birthday, because my understanding is John Pemberton didn't have a particularly happy life or success with Coca-Cola. He got kind of fleeced, but that's for another
he had
show.
a Coke problem.
Well, there you go.
I think it's also worth shouting out to James Whistler, who is a big fan of his mother, aka Whistler's mother. So, happy birthing day to her and happy birthday to him. I also found out when I was pulling together these birthdays, and I saw that Ann Landers and Abigail Van Buren, aka Dear Abby, I was like, that's so weird. They have like two women that both had an advice column and their birthdays the same day. Turns out they're twin sisters. How did I not know that?
I don't know. I thought everybody knew that. Or everybody of a certain age, but
I had no idea. I was like, scandal. What the what? So turns out it's not the coincidence I thought it was.
Correct.
Oh, do you want to hear my story about my refrigerator?
Yes, yeah. What happened? We got, not only are we both sick, but we got delayed in recording this show because you had an emergency repair happen with your refrigerator. And you're doing the show from home today because of the aforementioned sickness. So this kind of, we kind of ran into an issue with this. But what happened?
Well, I'm going to tell the version of the story that I think happened because I was outside because I have been basically, in trying to quarantine and keep
Sure.
my husband and my son healthy. I've been spending lots of time outside. So
Smart.
here's what I think happened. My husband, love him dearly, not a handyman. However, his one claim to fame is, the refrigerator filter, the light's gone on, time to change the filter. So the filter arrived a couple weeks ago, and I guess he finally decided I have some time. So he decided yesterday, I'm going to change the filter. So I was like, I had no clue, right? I'm outside minding my own business.
That should be a simple task.
Should be. It should be. So here's what I think happened. There he is lying on the ground with his pliers. He goes to take out the filter and pulls it out, and water starts coming out, and not a slow trickle, like a stream. And he's like, what the heck? So he stands up, probably slips a couple times because there's water.
Right.
It's gushing. He doesn't know what to do. He's running around in a circle, and he's like,
filter back in.
What do I do? What do I do? He can't put the filter back in because it won't go in. So then he tries the new filter, tries to open it, but his hands are wet, has to try to put the other filter in. The box gets wet. He can't open the container. The whole thing happens. Then he's like, I should turn off the water. Right. Meanwhile, our son, who's getting ready for work, is like, what's going on around here? And he, like a Keystone Cop, starts running around in a circle, like, what do we do? What do we do? And Pete's like, call a plumber. And Charlie's like, I don't know any plumbers. So then it's like, well, let's turn off the water valve. And Pete's like, it's a built-in refrigerator. I can't. I don't know where it is. He goes down in the crawl space. Nobody goes down in the crawl space. That is Pete's personal room 101. Like, he's never going to go down in the crawl space. He went down in the crawl space. Again, I'm outside. It's sunny. I'm clueless. So the two of them are basically two spinning tops slipping around on water that's gushing. And now it's all over the kitchen, and it's probably like a quarter of an inch deep. And finally, Charlie comes to the door and is like, Mom, we need you. And I'm like, oh, now you need me, because he'd been mean to me. And he's like, it's not funny. There's a leak. So I come in the house and I'm like, what the heck has gone on when I'm outside? And Pete's like, I'm trying to change the filter. And I'm like, it's not working. And so,
which I'm sure he loves hearing that.
Oh, 100%, because that's helpful. And so this is where you learn about the whole flight fight or
Fight
freeze.
or flight, sure.
Yep. So Pete is like a flight, Charlie is freeze, and I'm fight. So I'm like, let me call Isaac. Isaac's the handyman. He knows where this is. So I call him up and I'm like, here, talk to Isaac. Pete, who I swear has anxiety talking to people, is like, I don't want to talk to him. I don't know what to say. I'm like, I wasn't here. I don't know what happened. Go figure out how to turn off the water. Then I calmly get the wet dry vac and I start scooping up the water. And then the plumber that Charlie called, Charlie's like, I don't know how to talk to a plumber. I'm like, again, I wasn't here, but I guess I'll talk to the plumber. And so there you go. So the guy came out today, and it turns out that my not so handyman husband, he managed to break the water filter, and in doing so, break the filter head into the refrigerator. And so then all the water was pouring out. And so
Oof.
First, we had to spend $1,500 to get a valve in the crawl space that's just to the refrigerator and the powder room that's on the other side of the refrigerator, because the real valve is behind the refrigerator, in the built-in refrigerator.
Mm-hmm.
And then the guy that came to do the filter, that cost another $600. So if we're keeping score, and like any good married couple, we are, he's down $2,100.
Wow.
So there's the story.
Yeah, so the moral of the story here is learn where your water shut-off valve is before you have this kind of issue, because this kind of thing could happen to anybody. So it's good to know how to shut off the water to your house in an emergency, because this sort of thing will happen, unfortunately.
Yeah, and the other moral is don't ask my husband for help. He cannot help you.
Well, he could learn some simple steps that might make things helpful. And that should be the number one. Learn where that master valve is. Exactly.
What you said. See, Eric is handy, you can tell, because he even knows what it's called.
Wow. Well, I'm glad everybody is dry and safe now.
Well, our floor's buckled, so that's cool.
Yeah, it's just speed bumps.
Uh-huh. Yeah, sure.
It'll get you to go slow in the kitchen.
Why don't we take a little break here so that I can calm myself?
Got all worked up with that story.
I did.
Stand by, everybody. We're coming right back to talk about today's topic here on Don't Ask Me to Talk. Have you ever considered working with an image consultant or stylist, but were worried about what the experience would be like? If that sounds like you, then Michael Bruce Image Consulting is here to help. They've worked with thousands of people, and many of those individuals have shared their experiences by way of style stories. Go to michaelbruceimageconsulting.com/style stories and check out what their delighted clients have to say about their experiences. And welcome back to Don't Ask Me to Talk. I am Eric Ryder, and
I am a much calmer Stacey Heller.
Awesome. Glad to hear it. Everything is safe and sound back at the home now, so nobody's getting sprayed down by an errant refrigerator anymore, so that is good news.
Exactly.
And then we just put all the negativity behind us as we look at today's fantastic topic, which the wheel chose for us. But a good choice for the wheel, I got to say this time, because as we discussed in the first segment of the show, it's Picnic Month. So
I like your affectation, the way you say it. It's Picnic Month.
Well, because I grew up seeing Yogi Bear on TV, and he always says, "Yo, boo-boo, let's get those picnic baskets." And so to this day, I can't help but call a picnic, and it drives my girlfriend insane. And I swear, if I ever go missing, or if it's in July, the likelihood is that she did it, and it was because I
She's like,
just
I'll
did a
give
picnic.
You a boo-boo.
That's right.
Right between the eyes. Yeah, I think I mentioned when we picked this topic last time that Pete was such a fan of the show that when we got our practice kittens, when we first got married, we named one of them Boo Boo after Boo Boo from Yogi Bear.
Oh,
So,
a fan of Yogi Bear, not
yes.
us. For a second there, I thought, oh, we've got a fan.
Then we have a lot of fans. Totally a lot of fans who, again, we would love to hear from. And you know what you could do? You could call or text us at 475-999-2726 or shoot us an email if you don't want to do that. And that's really easy. Just send it to asking@don'taskmetotalk.com.
And if you do like the show, we would really love it if you took a second and gave us a review on Apple Podcasts, because that really helps. 5 stars or above. I don't know how you do above, but if you find a way to give us 6, 7 stars, please do so.
There's 50 stars on the flag, people.
And we will read those on the show. Any 5-star reviews we will read on the show. That is our guarantee to you, the listener. So please. And on Spotify, you don't have to even put any words or anything. You can just click 5 stars. So please do that. And tell your friends, spread the word about Don't Ask Me to Talk.
Well done. Okay, so our topic, it's the ideal picnic. Now, to me, there's more to a picnic than like, it's just a picnic. It's like, it's the 4th of July. Like perhaps you're going to go watch fireworks later and it's like you bring a picnic, or it's a summer day and you're going to the beach or the lake or the fill in the blank and you bring a picnic. So I figured it would be interesting to talk about like the place, like what's the environment like, time of year. Like the assumption is that summer's the best time, but
Right.
but is it? Maybe not. Also, what's on the menu and who are you with?
And do you like picnics?
Well, that's probably a really good place to start. I like a really well appointed picnic. Like, think of me as like the charcuterie girly picnic type. I like lots of little snacky foods and like I want like the full accoutrement. Like I'm not interested in like, here's a sandy beach towel and here's the carrots that fell in the sand and like, and here's a warm soda wrapped in foil that, by the way, it does not work to keep the soda cold.
All right.
Not that I've had any specific complaints about past picnics.
Clearly, you've had some bad picnic experience. I didn't even think of that as being a picnic, but you're right. It is a picnic. If you're going to the beach and you're having food on the beach, that is a picnic. You put it in a cooler, you're probably sitting on a blanket and enjoying yourself. And even despite your negative outlook on those particular picnics, I think that's probably my favorite kind of picnic is getting sitting on the beach, having a beverage. And, they make cozies to keep your beverage cool. So I'd recommend that more than aluminum foil. And so, and what I like to do is I don't like to pack up a bunch of food. I'd like to swing by someplace in the vicinity of said beach and get a takeout order and then have that as my picnic.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I like. But typically when someone says picnic to me, I think of, you've got a basket, you've got a blanket, or maybe you're in a park at one of those brown tables with the benches built on, and then you get...
That would be called a picnic table.
Exactly. and you end up with mosquitoes flying on you or ants crawling on your food or something. It's really hard to, or if you're on the ground, you're inevitably on some rocks or something uncomfortable. So I think picnics may be overrated in the classic sense of picnics. But I do like, like I said, going to the beach and being there long enough to have lunch, or dinner even. I think that's fun.
Okay. So I'm with you on a lot of it, except for the overall, like the beach being my favorite spot. So, like, for instance, when we go spend time at our lake house, we'll take a picnic on the pontoon boat, which basically a pontoon is like, a floating dock so that you don't spill your drink.
Right.
And we bring lots of snacks, and that's a really fun place to have it. And you're sort of grazing. And I guess the beach for me, like I said, I clearly have like PTSD from childhood picnics because it was like, here, let me like pack you a tuna sandwich, which everybody knows how good a tuna sandwich is, stuffed in a bag with all the other stuff on top of it. It's warm and flat, my favorite things. Anyway, but like to me, I want to be someplace grassy. Now, where you say? Thank you for asking. I'm going to get real specific.
A grassy knoll, perhaps.
Well, yes.
Where were you? Where were you in 1965?
Luckily, I was not born yet, but I was thinking a grassy knoll, but in Carmel by the Sea in California.
Okay. Yeah, that is a beautiful place.
That town.
And it was 63, of course, that JFK was assassinated, but not to go to a dark place. Let's get back to picnics.
Pete was born in 63. I mean, I'm just saying.
Who was?
He was born in March, and it happened in
Pete.
November? Yeah. I'm
Okay.
throwing my husband under the bus on so many levels
He
today.
can't figure out a refrigerator filter. I don't think he can figure out as a baby.
Okay. All right.
How to operate, a high-powered rifle.
You make an excellent point. I mean, he didn't even have like the muscle strength, for God's sakes. He couldn't even hold his head up. Okay, we digress. Yeah, Carmel by the Sea. I've been there a couple times, and it is like this idyllic little, like, super ritzy, fancy town that like Clint Eastwood was the mayor of for a little while. So all of that is totally true. But like the food, like to your point, there's like these great like little markets or delis or sandwich places that you can go in and get some like bougie sandwich on like fresh baked bread and get like a little split of wine, get your Diet Coke, pack up the whole thing, and go to some spot that is beach adjacent.
Fair enough.
Grassy, so that you're not getting the crunch of sand in your really good sandwich.
Right.
And like the temperature, it's not like super hot. It's like that temperature when the sun is warming you, but you're not like schwitzing everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's maybe like early September.
Okay. Yeah, depending on the location, I think that's good.
Right. And then you bring a book and you've got like maybe your phone with you for music, and maybe you're with some friends. Maybe I'm inviting Pete. It depends if he's paid off the refrigerator repair guy. And then like you can like lay back in the grass and take a nap. Like part of a picnic to me is also the post-picnic nap.
Which is great on the beach.
You're just sticking by the beach thing.
I just think it's fun. But, the thing is with picnics also, it's such a, like, there's like a sliver of time during the year where it's good, because there's so many times where, oh, it's so nice out. We should, even going to a restaurant. Do you want to sit on the patio? It's so nice out. And then like a cloud will come over the sun or something, and you'll be freezing trying to
hail.
and while shivering while you're trying to eat your whatever. So I typically like to sit inside unless it is July or August.
Right.
And same thing with picnics. If I can eat and then go to a park or the beach, I typically do that. But if I'm going to be at a place long enough that I need a meal to enjoy myself, then, a picnic can be good. But you do have to be prepared.
I also think there's something about, like, is the event the picnic, or is the picnic like event adjacent, because that always feels more stressful to me. Like, oh, we're going to do this, let's bring a picnic. And that never seems to go as well as just like the event is the picnic. I feel personally like I can lean into the casualness and the timing better versus like even around here, if you go to a summer concert at like the Chateau Saint Michel and you can bring like a picnic, that's not bad because you're sitting and you're listening to music and everything. Although you do get a little bit of like FOMO because you're like, look at that person. Like they brought like the Studebaker, like tables and like things to hold the wine. And it's like this big old thing. And it's like a whole scene. But my point being that like, if you can just sit and chill, and sometimes a picnic is really just a packed lunch. Okay, there, I said it.
Yeah. But let me ask you this. Do you have like the accoutrements, like the picnic basket and the checkered blanket, if you will? Or...
Oh, Eric, you really need to come and see my pantry sometime.
Okay.
So I am an excellent hostess, which has nothing to do with the question you asked me. But I have like, tell me that like, hey, Stace, like I'm gonna have 50 people over. Do you think that you could like pull off a party in like 3 hours? And yes, sir, yes, I can. And I have 75, actually 85, don't tell Pete, hot metal hot dog trays and the papers to line them, the whole thing. So I have not one, but 2 picnic baskets. One I found at a thrift store that's the basket and it didn't have the plates and the utensils, but like a full-on beautiful, clearly this was a wedding gift that like didn't survive. And it had the basket inside the basket that held all the little things. And then I have one, the people that owned the lake house before us, their like, I don't know, housewarming gift from the property developer was a big old picnic basket with their cottage number on it. And they left that as part of the deal. So I also have that one. Nice. So I can be like with 2 picnic baskets with my blankets, my quilts. Oh my gosh. Are you kidding? It's like an Instagram moment.
Very good. I bought a classic picnic basket not that long ago. Well, actually, probably when I say not that long ago now,
you're like,
I'm thinking 15 years ago. Right. Still seemed like not that long ago, but you know, when I think about like 15 years, yeah, that's actually probably a good chunk of time has passed.
It wasn't in the first 20 years of my life.
Right, exactly. But I did get a classic picnic basket with the blue check lining and everything, and it's really nice. Never had the chance to use it because, like I say, when I'm going on a picnic, I'm typically, you know, if anything, I'm bringing a cooler, and so you know, trying to keep the beverages cool, and yeah. So the classic picnic basket just seems like it's made for like Maine or something and not the rest of the country.
When you're ready to get rid of it, let me know.
Yeah. Okay. Because you need a third.
Yeah. Well, yes. All good things come in 3s.
Right. Well, this is at this point is serving, sitting on top of one of my cabinets, decorative mostly. But yeah.
There you go.
I like the idea of someday, you know, doing a park picnic and actually breaking it out of retirement to do that.
You know what you could do? Take Gertie to a dog park and pack it up with lunch for yourself and dog treats. You will be the hit of the park.
She cannot watch me eat because she loses her mind. So I'm not so sure I'd be the hit of the dog park or thrown out, but she's very food motivated. And it doesn't matter if she just had her dinner. If she sees me eating something, she wants that something. Because clearly,
honestly, Gertie, 100% relatable.
Hey, I just mentioned how if I hear people talking about hot dogs, how I want one. So I get it, you know.
Oh, totally. Totally. Now, have you had any memorable picnics?
Memorable picnic. I mean, when I was a kid, we used to have picnics for Easter every year.
Really?
Yeah. And around here, that would be crazy because it's at Easter time. It may be nice, but it's not eat outside weather usually.
Right.
But down in Redding, California, where it's, it's very hot. So, yeah, in April, that's ideal picnic weather. And then if you went out in July to have that picnic, you would be scalding your bare naked legs and,
That's like
and not
Hell's
enjoying
Basement.
yourself. Yes, exactly. So,
God.
yeah, I remember some of those picnics being very good, especially since I wasn't responsible for, the food. I just being a kid, got to enjoy just showing up and having, home cooked food.
Right.
Yeah.
Everything tastes better when you don't have to make it.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's why I
Yeah.
get takeout now instead of making sandwiches. Sometimes I do that. Sometimes I make the sandwiches, but if I can get like a burrito or something and go sit there on the beach, damn, that's a good time.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. But you have to have multiple courses. That's the thing with this. Like, that's cool. But then you also have to have something sweet and then like some fruit. And like, to me, there's like layers to a picnic. It can't just be like the main course.
Okay. So what? Tell me what you think the ideal picnic menu should include.
Well, really good sandwiches on crusty bread. And then you need some kind of a chip or something, maybe some pickles because it brings in like the tart saltiness. Then you need to have a little dessert, definitely some fruit, and then some more food for like a second course, like cheese or something.
What about something like a fried chicken? Do you like? You always want to go with a sandwich?
Pretty much,
Okay.
I think, unless it's a cheese tray. Sandwiches seem like, oh, maybe a nice pasta salad,
Mm-hmm.
like a pasta primavera or a potato salad or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, I just feel like something about a picnic, like
Do
you
you-
probably are outdoors and active and like you're coming back and you're like, ooh, like let's nosh on this, let's nosh on that.
Do you prefer potato salad or pasta salad? Probably the greatest debate of our time. But I fall for potato salad, but I know a lot of people prefer that elbow macaroni salad.
Well, I like the swirly one, the fusilli, I think.
Oh, okay. All right. A cold fusilli pasta salad. I could go for that, but I still think a potato salad, probably of any kind, is going to be better in my estimation.
All right. Okay. That's fine. What about you?
What about me? What do I
Yeah,
think
like
is
your ideal picnic. So sandwiches, potato salad.
in my mind, it's some fried chicken, I think, with some sides, and that would be potato salad, and that would be, maybe like a nice tort or something as a dessert. I think,
A tort?
yeah.
Wow. I want to go on a picnic with you, Eric.
Something cool and refreshing would be great, so something fruity, I think, would be real nice for a picnic dessert. But I don't think I've ever gone to the trouble of actually getting like some nice fried chicken with sides to do for a picnic. But I'm going to make that a
You
goal.
can get them at the grocery store.
Well, yeah, but I find grocery store fried chicken is not does not appeal to me.
There.
So I
Very
think
good.
I want to make this a goal for this summer to have a classic picnic where I break out the picnic basket and I get some fried chicken and some sides and maybe a tort, and actually do it instead of just thinking about it.
All right. I'm going to challenge you and I'll challenge myself and then take pictures and we'll share it on our social media.
Done.
Perfect. All right.
Well,
Anything else you want to add? Because I think we're running out of time.
yeah, I think we've said about all that could be said. And then last week I said, I don't know how we're going to talk about this for all this time, but we managed to do it. And we're out of time, unfortunately. So if there's any tags to the picnic thing that you want to say before we pick our topic, then please do. Otherwise, I'm going to spin the wheel.
No, spin the wheel.
Wheel O Topics.
Woo!
Title of a memoir.
Ooh. I don't mean like any memoir. I mean your memoir.
Right. I kind of figured that out. And, the title of my memoir has already been taken. So now I'm going to have to come up with something different if I ever write a memoir.
See, this is a perfect opportunity then to spend some time thinking about it, since you have to come up with your second place title.
Well, there was a memoir by a writer called How to Lose Friends and Alienate People. And that would have been mine, except it got used. So now I'm going to have to come up with something else. But maybe I'll manage to do that over the week.
There you go. All right. Well, you've got a week to prepare.
Right. And can you think of any titles that have been snapped up that would have suited you?
No, but I'll have time to think about it.
All right. Well, that's what we'll do. We'll stew on it and hopefully get healthy here in the next week so we can actually enjoy the fireworks.
Exactly. Get through an episode without coughing up a lung.
On 4th of July and get through an episode without coughing up a lung as we talk about the titles of our memoirs on next week's episode. Thanks for listening, everybody. Have yourself a wonderful, healthy week.
Happy 4th of July.
We love you.
Life is a workout, and Smoothie King is here to help you power through. Whether you're grinding out bicep curls or muscling the couch across the living room, crushing morning miles, or sprinting through back-to-back meetings, Smoothie King has fuel to help you maximize your workouts, own your recovery, and elevate your game. Give your body the energy, protein, and power it needs with a lineup of delicious smoothies made to help you conquer your goals. Only at Smoothie King.